All right, good morning, everyone. It's 9:30. Go ahead and get started, Liz.
Morning. Thank you. Let's see if I get my video going. Good morning. My name is Liz Kukla. I'm the Secretary of the Board of Zoning Appeals. I'm going to read the preamble for you this morning. This January 24th, 2022. In compliance with notification requirements of the city's open meeting law in section 101.021 of Codified Ordinances of Cleveland, Ohio, 1976, notice of this meeting has been publicly posted. All boards and commissions under the purview of the City Planning Department conducts its meetings according to Robert's Rules of Order. Actions during the meeting will be taken by voice vote. Abstentions from any vote due to a conflict of interest should be stated for the record prior to the taking of any vote. In order to ensure that everyone participating in the meeting have the opportunity to be heard, we ask that you use the raise hand feature before asking a question or making a comment. The raise hand feature can be found in the participants panel on the desktop and mobile version and activated by clicking the hand icon. Please wait for the chair or facilitator to recognize you and be sure to select unmute and announce yourself before you speak. When finished speaking, please lower your hand by clicking on the raise hand icon again and mute your microphone. We will also be utilizing the chat feature to communicate with participants. The chat feature can be activated by clicking the chat button located on the bottom of the WebEx screen. Please note that call-in users can unmute by using *6. All meeting activity is being recorded via the WebEx platform. These proceedings are also being live streamed via YouTube for public view. We have provided a link to the meeting for those who wish to speak on a particular case via our website and email. All requests to speak on a particular matter have been considered. We've also received emails from those who have provided written comments on a particular matter. Back to you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Let's call the roll.
Ms. Barnes?
Ms. Barnes, good morning.
Good morning. Ms. Brown?
Present.
Ms. Vape?
Happy Monday, and I'm here.
And Ms. Britt?
Here.
Madam Chair, we have a quorum.
All right. What's next? Okay.
All right. Before you, we have withdrawals and postponements. Calendar 21-200 regarding 2512 Church Avenue. Peas and Carrots Hospitality owner proposed to establish a use as a restaurant in a D3 local retail business district. The applicant has stated that they are not interested in proceeding at this time with this project. Therefore, it has been withdrawn.
Okay.
So the next case that you have before you is calendar number 21-188 regarding 11811 Shaker Boulevard. Shaker West professional owner proposed to establish use as a mental health and substance abuse treatment center in a residence office district. This will be the second postponement, Madam Chair. The first postponement was requested by the city planner to allow time for further review. And now we are getting the request for postponement from Councilman Griffin to allow time for a community meeting to be held. And so, Madam Chair, at your pleasure, we're thinking February 28th or March 7th, whichever you choose.
Well, this weather's getting a little crazy, so we don't know how long it's going to last. So let's kick it to March 7th, so they'll have enough time to get together.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
All right.
Then, Madam Chair, I'm not sure if the city planner for the case on East 65th Street, calendar 21-181, is that Nicole Maurice?
Yes, that'd be Nicole Calhoun. I see that she is online.
Ms. Calhoun, were you interested in requesting a postponement for this case? I had heard that might be the case, and we thought we should get that out of the way before we get too deep into the agenda today.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Yes, Madam Chair, we have been waiting for them for East Design Review to return to us with the actual plans for this project. We've received several emails stating that they would give us the information. Slavic Village Development has received several emails, but nothing has come of it. We would ask that you would postpone until they have given us the information that we need so they can go through design review process. Thank you.
That makes total sense. I'm okay with the postponement. Board, do you have any objections?
Objections, can you just repeat that case number for me, please?
That's calendar 21-181 regarding 3733 East 65th Street. Ram
Great, thank you.
Romano is the owner. I believe that he is on the call this morning. And I'm not sure if he wanted to make a statement or anything, or we would like to just know that he is hearing this information and is aware of it. So Mr. Romano, could you respond?
Yes,
We
I'm
have
in.
Rudy
Talk, Rudy.
You broke
Hi,
up.
my name is Rudy. I'm Ron's brother. May I speak, please?
Go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah.
Do you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Okay, so hi. We would like to know if there is any other issue except the parking space.
Okay, Madam Chair, what I can do is send the contact information to Mr. Romano. I'll send an email including both Mr. Romano and the city planner so that they can connect on the issues that the city planner, Ms. Calhoun, would have and would like to discuss with him.
Great idea. I was going to suggest that myself. All right. Yes. So, Mr. Romano, you can work with Ms. Calhoun, and she'll make sure that you know everything you need to have before your case comes up. So, what date do we have for them, Liz?
Again, as with the last one, 30 days would be February 28th. 30 days plus 7, which of course I can't do the math off the top of my head, is March 7th.
Ms. Calhoun, do you think 30 days is long enough, or do you think it might need more than that?
Well,
So you want us to speak with the city planner and solve the issues or what?
Yes. So we're just trying to get you a date to come back.
Yeah, I believe we can do it in 1-2 days. We just need. We think we have a good solution, and we think the city will accept that.
Ms. Calhoun?
Madam Chair, with that said, we can go for the February date then.
Okay, thank you.
It'll
All
be
right,
February 28th then.
Okay.
Okay.
Madam
Great.
Chair, this is Lori Wagner. I'd like to bring up a matter. For case number 21-192, there has been some discussion as to whether the decision of Planning Commission, which is being appealed, was actually a final order or not. And I know the appellant's counsel tried to contact me on Friday. I was unable to talk to them because I'm in the middle of a very pressing project. So I guess they brought up maybe some good points. I don't know. I need to review the transcript and do some legal research. So could I ask to have that case continued rather than dismissed? That's 21-192.
Yeah, the appeal of the decision. Yeah. Well, yeah, if there was no decision, then there's no.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So if you have to figure that out, we don't want to talk about a case and we're not clear. So that's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome to the postponement day here at BZA.
Here we
Okay,
go.
so what date do we have for that
Well,
list?
Madam Chair, we have Tony Coyne with his hand raised.
Okay.
Yeah, Madam Chair, I just wanted to note that I'm not sure how this became a question. The matter went to the Planning Commission. There's a bit of a history with this, but the motion form was filled out and a decision was made, and it was not approved by a 4-2 vote. The motion says that it failed, and we filed pursuant to the ordinances. So we think it's ripe for appeal at this time. The motion form was filled out on the date of the hearing, which was November the 5th of 2021. A motion was made to approve the plan combined with some changes that were recommended that the applicant agreed to make. There were 6 members of the Planning Commission present. 2 voted in favor of it and 4 voted no. So I don't know how it's not a final order.
That's
Ms.
the
Wagner?
question we need to determine, and motion was made and failed. There was no, I need to review the exact wording and the planning commission rules to see, not ready to say at this point that the Board of Zoning Appeals has jurisdiction. I understand the points Mr. Coyne is raising, and I want to look at those, but I just have not had a chance to do so for this morning's meeting.
Can we get a date certain as soon as possible? Because this was part of a settlement in court, and that's pending still. And we keep getting contacted about when it will be heard by the city.
There's a pen. I did not know there was a case in court, and that's further reason to take a look at it and let me check it out. But as soon as you can get them back on the agenda, we'll get that done.
All right. Okay. Well, if they need to get back on the agenda, what date can we give them with?
So, Madam Chair, we could do some jumping through hoops and get them on February 7th. We already have a pretty full agenda for that day. And as you know, we could have postponements and such or withdrawals. So the date after that would be February 14th.
Well, considering this is an appeal, sometime they, go a little longer. So let's put them on the 14th agenda. And if we need to, then we'll see them on the 14th. I don't know how this is going to shake out.
All right, I will keep that one light as well. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Ms. Wagner. Do we have any cases left?
We do.
Okay.
We do. Yeah.
And I know we have the Councilman Griffin here. I think I did see him at one point. So we need to go to his case for Brit Oval.
Yep. Let me flip back here. Do we
I
still
thought
have
Councilman Griffin's case was postponed.
Brit Oval.
We have Brit Oval.
Brit Oval.
Brit Oval.
Oh, Brit Oval.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sorry. Forgot about that.
Okay. All right. So, as courtesy to the councilman, we will be hearing cases for which he is present. And we have a BZA bundle today for that. So that's calendar number 21-194 and calendar number 21-195. The respective addresses are 11413 Brit Oval and 11415 Brit Oval. And Flada Woodlands Heights SLT owner proposes to erect a 2-story frame single-family residence with an attached garage and open deck above the garage in a B1 open space and recreation district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the agenda and the public record. And it appears we have mostly setbacks. We have some glazing issues. Of note on case 194, is the file heard and approved with original setback information on December 20th of 2021 for both of those items. So that's the only highlighted bit of information there. So with that, to my colleague, Ms. Brown, for the oath.
Thank you. I am swearing in all who are present for this case. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your hand. Reply, I do. State your name and your address, please.
I do. Andrew Gottlieb, Key State Homes, 3187 Old Brainerd Road, Pepper Pike, Ohio, 44124.
I do. Blaine Griffin, 11810 Larchmere Boulevard, Cleveland, Ohio.
I do. Gary Neola, Cornerstone Architecture, 1151 Sherbrooke Drive, South Russell, Ohio.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
all are sworn in.
All right, thank you. History of the property, please, Ms. Kukla.
Thank you, Madam Chair. You most likely remember this or these cases. They were reviewed and approved by you on December 20th.
Yeah.
At the time of the review, calendar number 21-194, in that case, and that's regarding 11413, a front yard depth of 21.82 was requested. And then in calendar 21-195 regarding 11415 Britt Oval, a front yard setback of 14.38 was requested. These were both granted pending a revised drawing. And when we received that revised drawing, there were some changes or things that we saw that needed to be brought back to this board. So that's why we're here today. It's simply just a conversation about the new setbacks that are, well, they are new because in that the board had requested them to push it up to the 12-foot, and the appellant stated that they could do this with no problem. But I guess as they began to revise the drawing, it was apparent that because of that angling of the street, that it wasn't going to be quite possible. So that's what we're here to talk about today, and that's what you have in front of you, the updated site plan. I think that's the synopsis. Madam Chair, back to you.
All right, thank you. Legal standard, please. Ms. Wagner, if you're talking, you're muted.
I am so
although-
sorry.
Madam Chair, we did hear this case already, so do we still need to have the legal standard
Yes.
reread? Okay,
Yep.
sorry.
Right. Appellant is requesting area variances from the maximum front yard setback, minimum glazing, principal pedestrian entrance location, minimum frontage feature, and minimum height above grade requirements of the zoning code. And I would remind the board in this case that unlike most cases, this is dealing with a maximum setback. So there is no legal impediment to the board granting a larger setback than requested. And to obtain the area variances, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variances will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code.
Great, thank you. Mr. Miola, are you going to be the spokesperson?
Sure, I'm more than happy to. So if we look at that site plan, we've got the reason in the previous meeting we thought we were within meeting the zoning ordinance was that we had on the 11415 Britt Oval plan, we had the maximum setback of 12 foot to the porch column, which as in the townhouse code, apparently that is not the setback point. It's actually the living space, which so for us to move the living space into the maximum setback of 12 foot would do two things. One is it would put the porch column over the top of the 5-foot utility easement that's along the right of way. And the second part is we also need a storm line for drainage to, and we show a yard drain right at the southwest corner of the 11413 Britt Oval unit that has to pass through without going into the utility easement. So our porch column is still 12 foot from the right of way, which is at what we would say the maximum setback. However, we can't make it qualify to be the living space given the conditions on this site.
Okay, Mr. Gottlieb, did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, I think Gary, Mr. Neal pretty much summed up the issue that we're facing. I appreciate that you guys are hearing this.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Griffin?
I support the changes, Madam Chair. I believe that this is an exciting project and was interested to hear the board's opinion, but I do support the setbacks. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Maurice, with city planning, I know you all supported it before, but let's just get it back on record.
Yes, Madam Chair, Maurice Rowland, City Planning, we 100% support this. The utility easement is what's causing the problem here, and they have slid the building as far forward as they possibly can to meet the setback requirement, but it's still, they need a little bit further depth on the 11415. So we support this change.
All right, thank you. I'll open it up to my board for any further questions or motion.
Madam Chair, unless any of my colleagues have questions, I'll go ahead with the motion. All right then. With the full support of City Planning and the support of Councilman Griffith, we've seen this before. We know that they're dealing with some constraints with regard to the easements and the utilities and all of that. And so it's a bit of a challenging situation that they seem to have problem solved. And I think we're happy to give them the variances they need to make the changes necessary so they can move forward with this project. And I would echo Mr. Griffin's sentiment that this does look like an exciting project, and we will anticipate it seeing coming to fruition. So with that, I motion that we go ahead and approve all these variances.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
This is Member Brown. I second.
Ms. Barnes, I'm sorry, Ms. Brown with the second. Go ahead and call the roll, Ms. Kukla.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Ms. Barnes?
Yes.
Ms. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Vade?
Yes.
Ms. Britt?
Yes.
Calendar 21-194 and calendar 21-195 have been granted. They will be ratified next week, and we will send the appellant a letter.
Thank you very much.
All right,
Bless
thank you
you.
for adjusting and coming back. Good luck with the project.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, we have Councilman Harsh. Actually, first, I believe this is his first Board of Zoning Appeals meeting as councilman. So if we can go to his case next.
Yes, welcome, Councilman. All right, go ahead, Alana.
All right. Welcome, Councilman.
Thanks.
So, yeah, good to see you. Welcome to Boza. So this is calendar number 21-202 at 5001 Memphis Avenue. Regina Concellier, owner, proposes to install a 6-foot-high wood privacy fence in an A1 local retail business district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the agenda and the public record, of which there is one. With that, I will pass it along to Ms. Brown for the oath.
Thank you. I am swearing in all who are present for this case. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your hand and reply, I do. State your name and your address, please.
I do. Chris Harsh, 1601 Merle.
I do. Cheryl Wilcher, 5005 Memphis Avenue.
Anyone else?
Anyone else?
In this case?
The owner of the house here?
I do not see anyone else. I do not see Regina on the call. If you're on your cell phone, if you're on the telephone, use *6 to unmute. I see we have one caller that is muted, and I don't know if that is Regina. *6 to unmute if you're on the phone.
Okay, do we have any more cases today, or is this the last one?
Yes, we have one more.
Okay, we'll put this.
Is Miss Wiltshire, you're just a neighbor?
Yes.
Okay, you're not the owner, okay, or
No.
you're not acting on behalf of the owner. Okay,
No, I'm not.
just wanted to check.
Madam Chair, did you want to move on and then maybe loop back?
Yeah, we will pause this and give them the owner enough time to get on while we're moving through other cases.
Okay.
And if she's not here, we'll handle that.
Okay. Councilman Harsh, if you want to stay on, we're just going to go back to another case and see if the appellant shows up for this one. Okay.
I'll be here. Holler at me when you're ready.
Okay.
Great. Thank you. Okay. So we're going to move on to calendar number 21-201 at 3979 East 131st Street, 3779 East 131st Street, LLC. Owner proposes to establish use as a daycare center in an A1 one-family residential district and a C1 local retail business district. The owner appeals for relief from the strict application of the Cleveland Codified Ordinances as stated in the agenda and the public record, of which there are 4. And with that, to Member Brown for the oath.
I am swearing in all who are present for this case. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth? Please raise your hand and reply, I do. State your name and your address, please.
I do. Rob Denteman, 14837 Detroit Avenue, number 340 in Lakewood.
Anyone else? Madam Chair.
Thank you. History of the property, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Excuse me. And this property was originally zoned general retail in 1929. In 1981, it was placed in local retail business district. In our records administration office, I found that in 1922, a permit was issued to erect a one-story stores building. And then in the recent history in our Acela system, I found that the previous owner applied for a daycare or a permit to establish use as a daycare in 2015, but that permit was never issued. The status was stated as closed and non-compliant. And that's all that I have, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Legal standard.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. Appellant is requesting area variances from the screening and landscaping requirements of the zoning code, as well as permission to operate a daycare center in a residential district. And I would note just part of this is in a residential district. The front part is not. To obtain the area variances, appellant must prove that denying the request will create a practical difficulty not generally shared by other land or buildings in the same district, will deprive the appellant of substantial property rights, and that granting the variances will not be contrary to the purpose and intent of the zoning code. Pursuant to section 33702G3 of the zoning code, the board, after public notice and public hearing, may approve a daycare use in a residential district if it finds that adequate yard spaces and other safeguards to preserve the character of the neighborhood are provided, and if, in the judgment of the board, such building and use is appropriately located and designed and will meet a community need without adversely affecting the neighborhood.
All right, thank you. Mr. Denteman, are you the spokesperson for this case?
Yes, I am.
Okay, go ahead.
All we're attempting to add is just a small area, playground area. I guess we've already got the daycare in the facility, but by this parking lot area, this small area on the side, did not allow us to do the playground area that we need to, one, develop the daycare center to its full potential, also to offer more amenities and so forth to the neighborhood, to allow people to bring their children there. I don't think it would devalue the neighborhood in any way. I think it would enhance the neighborhood because it provides a service that folks around there need. Also, the idea is to kind of service middle and lower class individuals. Again, I think it would be a benefit to the community at large, and I don't think that it would cause a problem with the community itself. And I think it meets the definition that it would devalue our ability to operate as a daycare, because a playground area and an area for kids to go outside and to exercise and to be part of the education, I think that would devalue the ability of the daycare to operate. So I don't think that we've met the standard that we do need to ask for this variance. I don't think it would cause an overwhelming burden on the community.
Okay, so can you go through the variances you're asking for today?
The variance that we're asking for is the ability to take the small little cement area to the side. I'm trying to pull up the drawing where it's labeled play area is marked residential, and it's not zoned commercial where we could do that. It was originally intended to be a daycare. For whatever reason, it didn't go forward, and we're just trying to continue that use. And so it's basically an approximate 300 square foot area that we're trying to turn into a playground area. It really couldn't be used, I believe, for residential anyways, and it enhances the property value and also enhances the use of the daycare itself.
So the area here on the screen, if you're looking, is this parking already existing, or are you putting this in?
It's my understanding that parking does exist there already from the unit owner.
Okay, thanks, Maurice, for that. And in part of this parking area, you plan to add a play area?
That is correct, yes.
Madam Chair, you could see it in the aerial in the back of the property there.
Yeah.
And Madam Chair, just to go over the variances that are actually being considered here, they need to
yes.
screen the trash dumpster, which, as you can see in the drawings, it's not properly screened. They need to provide details for their landscaping. There also needs to be a landscape transition strip behind the play area where it's adjacent to the residential property next door. Right now, they're just showing lawn area. It needs to be there needs to be some kind of landscaping in there, and there's no details on that. So those are basically summing up the variances that are actually being requested here. Besides the use of a daycare in a residential, we 100% agree that the daycare on this location is absolutely fine. It's actually where we want to see daycares, is on a more major commercial street like East 131st, and they're only here because the tail end of the parcel, which I guess would be north, but I'm not 100% sure, happens to be in a residential district. So we 100% think that the use is appropriate. We just need to have the trash dumpster screened and some more details about any kind of landscaping.
Okay, Mr. Denderman, you understand that?
Yes, we will take care of that, absolutely.
Okay. Board, any questions or comments? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I think we're good. It gets the support of city planning. That's always great. The appellant seems to understand the items that we are looking to have. And so we're going to need to have those submitted to us before we ratify this, sir. So we're essentially going to motion and then vote to approve this today. And then what you'll need to do is submit to us a plan for how you're going to screen the dumpster, your landscape plan, and then essentially a detail sheet of the plant materials that will go into that landscape plan. And you'll submit those to our secretary, pending approval, which I'm going to motion for now. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, with all that being said, Madam Chair, I move that we go ahead and approve the variances stated in the agenda. And with the support of city planning. And, I think we're looking forward to having another daycare in the neighborhood.
All right, thank you. Can I have a second?
Second it.
All right, Ms. Burns, with the second, go ahead, call the roll, Ms. Cooper.
Thank you. Ms. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Barnes?
Ms. Barnes, yes.
Ms. Bates?
Yes.
Ms. Britt?
Yes.
Calendar 21-201 is granted conditionally. We will hold ratification pending the revised site plan showing the screened dumpster and a landscaping plan. Once we receive that, we will ratify it and we will send the appellant a letter.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. We'll look forward to getting that information back. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
You as well. Back to the previous case, Madam Chair.
Yeah, Maurice, did anyone else sign in since we've been the other case?
There are 2 call-in users. Of course, I don't know their names. I do not see a Regina, but again, let me just let everyone know that if you are on the telephone, hit *6 to unmute yourself if you are here for this case.
Madam Chair, I was able to contact the applicant over the phone. He did state that he didn't receive the link, so I sent it to him again. So if we can give him a couple more minutes and to see if he can log in, that would be okay.
Okay.
Madam Chair,
yes.
how about if we go to old business?
Old business. Yep.
Yeah.
Because I think we had something to discuss on there. There we go. I have a good idea every once in a while.
Yeah, that was
All
pretty
right.
brilliant. Thank you.
Yeah. Old business 1, 2, and 6 without objection, board.
Without objection.
Oh, Madam Chair, I apologize. Number 6 is the case, one of the cases that we'll be discussing. I should have highlighted it.
Okay.
Different.
You should have not highlighted it.
I should have not highlighted it. Yeah, sorry.
I'm too conditioned to look at the highlight and not the word, so my fault.
So there, yeah, exactly. So we're good on 1 and 2, though.
So 1 and 2 we have without objection, and number 6 is what we need to discuss here. Okay. All right. Well, we'll do the request for affirmation first for calendar number 17-348 for Harborview Drive. This seems like the normal stuff on.
Yeah.
So without objection, board.
Absolutely without objection. I mean, geez Louise.
Okay.
They're really.
Yeah. Well.
Tough time to negotiate through things.
Okay. All right, Liz, give us a synopsis on what's going on with calendar number 21-160.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is an interesting, complicated mix of things that are happening with this. And this is again for calendar 21-160 regarding 3532 West 41st Street. So if you remember, this applicant, Pastor Henry Flanoy, was requesting to change use as a restaurant in a local retail business district, pending a revised site plan to be submitted showing the actual striping of the spaces in the parking lot. What we received at the hearing showed many more parking spaces than could actually fit after the field survey was done by our chief city planner, Maurice Rowlands here. So at the hearing, the board granted it pending a revised drawing showing that the spaces, the actual number of spaces, and also at that time, we discovered that there was a shed on the lot, so you needed the shed to be identified as well. So we received a drawing showing these changes. It's not drawn to scale, so that is the first issue. We thought that it might be enough because it does give dimensions of both the shed and the parking spaces. And Ms. Faith asked for a handicap space to be shown, and they provided that as well. Now, after speaking with Lisa Ray in Building and Housing, it's come to our attention that Building and Housing is going to need a drawn to scale plan. And also there's been a new request for a dumpster to be shown. And in discussions with Ms. Ray, we found that the applicant has actually applied for the dumpster separately, the shed separately, and the parking lot separately. So, so we're having some confusion with that, but ultimately, it seems that he may not be able to get the 10 spaces in once he hands us a scaled drawing. Ms. Ray believes that there's probably not enough space. Again, he did not give us a scaled drawing, so there's no way to tell for sure on our end. So number one, we need a scaled drawing, and we let the applicant know this information. And he is concerned about the time frame. I'm not sure if it has to do with getting a loan for the changes that he wants to do inside the building, but he's running out of time to complete or to get his certificate of occupancy for that restaurant. So one of the suggestions by him is that he brings it back to the board so that we could just hear the case to establish the use without the parking lot, without the parking. Oh, and another complication is that the parking lot is on a separate parcel, which was not shown on the original plan. So the applicant is requesting that we review this building as on its own without parking. And of course, that would mean we would have to bring it back to you and have him explain, you know, the situation, and that way and also we could have the public meeting so that the neighbors would be notified. Now I've included Lisa Ray. I see that she's on the call here. I invited her to this. I also invited the applicant, Mr. Flanoy. I see him here as well. So if you have questions, maybe we should direct them to them, because this is my understanding of it. I know it's confusing, but we thought we should bring it to you and lay it all out. Thanks.
Okay.
If you want.
Quick question to Lori. We're discussing this right now. We have people on the call. Does this require any kind of swearing in or no?
If we're reconsidering it with no parking, then you'd need to re-advertise it so the neighbors would have a chance to comment. It's not clear for me from reading this summary. You said the parking spaces are on a separate lot, but are those parking spaces being used for a different business, or is that just the parking spaces for this business? Either way, if it's a different plan, it was granted subject to 10 parking spaces. If those can't be met, then I think the board has to re-advertise and hear it again. I'm not sure. Building and Housing maybe could comment on this. The fact that it's on a separate lot precluded us from granting the variance to begin with, but we do need to have a scale drawing to show that there's enough spaces, and it appears that they can't provide that.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am. I just feel like we need to hear this again with all the appropriate information in front of us. We didn't have that before. We got 3 different permit applications. We got not to scale drawings, like this, this decision was not made on, upfront factual information. So in my opinion, I think we should rehear this at a later date. Board members, any input?
I would completely concur. I thought I was pretty clear about a scale drawing when I requested that. So if that didn't happen, that's not great. And there's more layers to this than we heard previously. So yeah, I'm with you on that.
Okay. Well, Ms. Kukla, do we have a date now, or you needed some time to figure it out first?
February 7th, I believe that's when we put, no, we put the complicated case regarding the Knez appeal. That one we put on the 14th, correct?
We can
And
put,
so
yes, so we can put this on the,
I think we could squeeze it on the 7th, or if you want to give them more time, that the 14th we could, you know, since we've had most of the testimony, we've had a lot of testimony on this, you know, we could put them on the 14th as well.
yeah, I think since we do have most of the information, we just have to get more information. I believe that the 14th is fine.
Okay. All right. I mean, I could get them on the 7th. There's still some room. I would have to send out the notices today.
No, we'll leave it on the 14th.
Okay. Thank you. And I think I just received a phone call from the applicant for the other case. You'd like me to call him back? Hold on one moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Done.
Maurice, do you want to flip back to the Memphis case?
Sure. And I would like to point out that we did send a link to the email address that we had on file for this case. I don't know whether, you know, there was a typo in the email or whatever, but we did attempt to send out a link.
Yeah, I believe you.
I don't know what happened, but you know,
We'll
technology
give
is
it
not
a couple
perfect.
more minutes, but yeah, I'm not gonna hold up our whole time here if they're not prepared. So
He says that he's on here already. If he could unmute himself and let us know. It might be Mr. Nelson or.
You guys hear me?
Yes.
Barely, it's very faint.
yeah, I can't hear them really.
Can you speak up for us, please?
You hear me now?
A little bit.
Let me see what's wrong.
Okay, Ms. Brown, can you swear him in? Whoever this is, I don't know what his name is. But
Sir, I'm swearing you in for this case and ask that you swear or affirm that your testimony that you're about to give is the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Please raise your hand and reply, I do. State your name and your address, please.
I do now.
anybody hear that?
No.
No.
You got to speak.
I don't know. It's
Sir, you
something
gotta
wrong with
speak
my
up.
phone. Like I said, I just got this. Hold on, let me see.
There you go.
We're hearing you now. Please,
Okay,
please
okay, thank you.
you have to
My name is
state your
Michael-
name and give your address.
Michael Nelson, 1255 East 84th Street, Cleveland, Ohio, 44103.
And Madam Chair, we do have authorization for Michael Nelson to represent the appellant in this case. I believe this is Mr. Michael Nelson on the call right now, right?
Okay. All right, Mr. Nelson, we're here for the defense case, so go ahead and present your case.
Well, what happened, you know, I got a nonprofit, if that makes any difference. And I've worked with several councilmen, starting with David Colliers, Sandy Lewis, all the way to the last one was Barcia Jones. Just had conversation with Stephanie House. What we do is we had an ex-offender program with Miss Lewis, and we find houses that we can afford. We fix them up. We try to put people in it. That house on the west side, 5001 Memphis, we acquired from a guy. The house was in disarray. All the people over there, old Brooklyn, was happy when we got it. We got it from a guy that had inherited He lived in Las Vegas. Frank LaPinsa, if I'm pronouncing the name right. And he had leased option to his nephew. His nephew got on drugs, and anyway, the house was going straight downhill, dogs and all kind of people. He
Okay,
got him out of there.
Mr. Nelson, we just need to hear about the fence. That's what we're here for. So let's just talk about that.
Okay, I was just giving you a little background.
Okay.
Anyway, we have the house. We got the permit. We have in the house, and then the house had a fence around it. So we put in for a fence to replace the fence that was already around it. And that's what we did. We replaced existing fence that was around it with pictures all on it and everything. And we thought we did right. Like I say, just like with this website, we're not the experts, but we tried to follow all the rules. And Miss Counselor bought the house. Now she's having problems with the house, and we don't want to just abandon her. So she's having the problems about the fence, and we just want to help her reconcile it. Whatever. I think I didn't talk to a lawyer now, not officially, but as he said, we might can get a variance or something, to keep the fence up. She spent a lot of money. We got the fence up, and like I said, it was existing fence there. I don't know the rules. I'm not a lawyer, but I wish you guys would kind of like maybe take a look at the property, how it was and how it is, and the fence, and see that it was a fence there.
Okay, Maurice. So it's the case is that they put back a non-conforming like an illegal fence.
Looks like that to me. Yes.
Is that why we're here? Okay, and so it's already up. And no permits pulled either. Hold on, Michael. So were there no permits pulled either, or was just the positioning of the fence is too close to the sidewalk? Looks like to me, but.
Yes, and of course we have the usual where there is it needs to be lower by the driveway itself, which it isn't. And I also had a question as to which way the gate opens, because from once I was there, it looks like the gate opens into the sidewalk area, which I can't imagine that meets code either, because you'd be blocking the sidewalk every time you swing that gate open. But I couldn't tell.
Which gate are you speaking of?
Okay, go ahead. How does the gate open?
For the gate for the driveway.
Oh, for the gate, it does. It opens out to the street, but you can because the the space from the sidewalk to the garage is so close. That's when he put it that way. But I think he put in the prints, and we did get a permit. We did put in for a permit. With we hired an architect to do that. Everhart was his name, Harlan Everhart, and he hired him. He the one turns all the plans and everything in and put in for a permit. And we had to come to City Hall, and I came with him, and you had to leave it downstairs. And then I guess somebody come down and get it, but then they said they didn't get it, and we brought it down again. And then I don't think they said it's too close to the side, because the fence is right where the existing fence was. I think they said it's like too high, but I mean we'll take the blame for that, because like I said, I'm not trying to make an excuse, but it was a fence already there, a 6-foot fence, white, but it was a plastic fence, and we just replaced it with a wood fence.
Yeah, we're not accusing you of doing anything illegal, but this part of the situation is that the fence as is, if you have built it, is not in conformity. So we're going to try to work through this.
Hey, can I ask one more question?
Hold on 1 second. We'll get back to you in 1 second. I want to get the neighbor a chance to speak. Ms. Wilcher.
Hi, my name is Cheryl Wilcher. I represent the owner of the property at 5005 Memphis. Our only concern is that there is part of the fence on the west side of the house that now encroaches or is attached to our garage. There was never a discussion with my client about doing that, and you can kind of see it in the first photo.
Is that it right there?
On the screen? Yes. Yes, right there. That the fence now attaches to my client's garage. And we have no access now to that side, the east side of our garage. There is a window there on that side of the garage, and we no longer have access there.
I'll explain that.
Go ahead, Mr. Nelson.
It's not attached. It's like my brothers just stuck it there. So if they had to go back in that little area, it's like a back area with it's never used. So, and we was trying to do safety. I got it's a little girl stay in the house there, and the biggest concern was not trying to bring no negativity, but in that area, and even the young lady that lived, I guess owned the house next door. That's one of the biggest problems. Was it's a lot of people with drug issues that walk through there. So Miss Council wanted me to make sure that they, people couldn't come in and get access to her niece and all that kind of stuff, or to other children. But all that have to do is really be removed. But it's not attached to the garage. It's just built where it's up close to the garage. And the way he built it was, if they had to go back to that area, it could be, removed, and we could just change that. Miss Council, everybody's trying to be good neighbors, and I wish she had a conversation with me about it, because we could just remedy any problem. And I'm not, if you guys need it, we can, everybody in that neighborhood, from the people across the street to the store to the gas station, everything, they were so happy because, what we did to that property, because it was like horrendous. It was, that in Old Brook, that's a really nice area still. And, we just want to be good neighbors, like I say, and I don't want to leave Miss Counselor, with a bunch of cars trying to take down a bunch, so I think it could be rectified. Everything could be fixed if you guys give us a chance.
Oh yeah, you're definitely gonna have to. We just have to figure out how you're gonna do that. I'll let the councilman weigh in before I go back to city planning. Councilman Harsh.
Yeah, hi, good morning. I went upstairs to see if we could do this in person, but I guess not, huh?
No.
No.
So when I first saw this, the ordinance, or the section in question was about, height, distance from the intersection, and opacity. And the fence looks okay in that respect. And I agree with Mr. Nelson. It was an existing fence. It's been there, and it wasn't a source of concern. And I do thank him for rehabbing houses in the neighborhood, and for updating the fence to wood. That is highly preferred over plastic vinyl. But I do have to agree with Ms. Wiltshire. The drawing that you even showed earlier showed a straight north-south route for the fence on the western face, going straight, that right there, going straight down from the back of the house to their property. And that would have been appropriate. I had this similar situation with my own mother, where I saw a fence that she built where she attached to her neighbor's garage and used her neighbor's garage wall, and then reattached her fence to the other side of the wall. And I said, Mom, you can't do that. You got to give your neighbor access, even if it's 2 feet, so that they can, get to their property. And my mom changed it. And it's something that folks do, and I see it quite often. But I agree, Ms. Wiltshire is correct, that fence should not be leaning up against her garage. And if Mr. Nelson can adjust that, I think that's the biggest issue. As for the door opening outwards, I leave that to you all. I haven't received any complaints or concerns about that, but I understand the complaint here, and I agree with the complainant.
All right, thank you, Councilman. Maurice, let's come up with a quick plan here that Mr. Nelson can do with this fence.
Right. So, Madam Chair, as you know, we never grant variances for the second portion of the variance here that's listed, that states the same restriction shall apply to any portion of a fence located along and parallel to a driveway within 15 feet of its intersection with a public sidewalk or public street if no sidewalk is present. And that basically is saying that the fence area near the garage or adjacent to the garage, right, this piece right here where I have the mouse, can only be, I believe, 2.5 feet tall. Is that correct, Mr. Riccardi? And if it's taller, it has to be at least 75% open.
That's correct.
And that's the only thing change. Well, I am concerned about the fence for the garage swinging out into the sidewalk. But I also do see that it's very tight up against the garage. You would not be able to have somebody parked on the other side of the fence, which they're doing now.
Right,
If
that was the problem.
if the doors were to swing inside.
So we have changing the door to swing on the inside. We need to dog ear that corner so it drops to 2 feet. So, and that's so that anyone walking on the sidewalk will not get hit by anyone's backing up that can't see them coming due to the height of the fence. And and removing the piece that's attached to someone else's garage. We can't. Those are the 3 things that need to be done. Is that correct, Maurice?
That is correct, Madam Chair.
Can I ask a question?
Mr. Nelson, are you willing to do those 3 things?
Yes, but I just wanted to ask one question.
Sure.
I mean, really tight too. Okay, the first question, when you were saying about the fence, the height now, and it can be 75% clear, can we just take some of the wood out and put a screen there, you know what I'm saying? Make it where you can see through there? Is that possible? Make it 75% instead of cutting it down? See, my only thing, like, you know, somebody just popping over the fence with the kids in the yard. And like I say, everybody in the neighborhood know that the kids, they be in the yard. But if that's not possible, we do whatever you need us to do too. Okay, and then my last question is the fence swinging out. In order for anybody, she has a car that's been sitting there that don't even run. They she don't even use that driveway. But and if they did, they had to get out the car, open the fence out, and then back in or either pull in and then close the fence. But whatever you guys need us to do, we'll do it. We are not trying to be in no trouble to nobody.
Okay, well, those are the 3 things we need you to do.
Okay.
Let me ask, just confer with Mr. Riccardi, if they do in fact change the corner so that if they remove some of the boards so that it's 75% open and then maybe fill it in with chain link or some other kind of material, will that meet the code, Mr. Riccardi?
As long as there's 75% opacity, and code requires 75% opacity. So
we can do that.
You can't put a chain link fence there if you can't see through it. But you know, it's a matter of judgment. Except 75% is what the code says.
Yes, we could do that. With chain link, plexiglass, we very creative with that. We can as long as it's the city satisfied, we can make it 75% compliant.
Okay,
Madam Chair, this is Liz.
Go ahead, Liz.
Could Maurice perhaps on this screen explain the area that would the dog ear would need to take place, and also where the 75% transparency would happen? I think you'd have to show it on the site plan on the aerial, but I'm not sure if the appellant. I think it looks kind of confusing myself as well, but if you could show it to him.
Yeah, Madam Chair, to Ms. Kukla. So I would think that everything to the left of the gate here on the picture would have to be down. It would either have to be 2.5 feet in height, or it would have to be 75% open. And then I believe on this side, on the other side, it also goes 15 feet as well. Is that correct, Mr. Riccardi?
Yes, that's right. Yes.
So it's 15 feet from both sides have to be 75% open, or a maximum of 2.5 feet in height. So that would be where my mouse is going around here. So this whole side would probably have to be lower or 75% open, and then 15 feet over this side would also have to be 75% open. And this is what we generally ask for in all of these fence cases.
So, Mr. Nelson, can you do one of those two, as well as making sure the door opens to the inside and to remove that piece that is that's close to the neighbor's garage and or attached to their garage?
Yes, ma'am, no problem at all.
And
Okay,
you know, they could contact our office, and we'd be more than happy to help them work through that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can contact Ms. Kukla and they can help you figure that part out.
Is that in
And
zoning?
yes, that's who you
Okay.
got the link from. And
Okay.
they'll help you figure out where to put that exactly. And we'll go from there. Looks like we got
And
everything else taken
can I
care
say
of.
one more thing without
Sure.
I mean, like, I just wanted to, you know, because I know how it is. You got to work, and a lot of people try to work outside the rule. But one of the biggest things that we do as smaller little rehabbers is like it's it's fences all scattered throughout that area on corner lots. That's just like that. So I just want to emphasize that I was not trying to, you know, skirt the rules or anything. So I just want you guys to know that.
No problem, Mr. Nelson. We're working with you to get it right. So we
Okay.
don't need to hash that back up. So we'll just move
Right.
forward.
Madam Chair, could I ask a question of Mr. Nelson, please?
Yes.
Mr. Nelson, do you actually need the gate across the garage there and the fencing in front of the garage? It occurs to me that the most expeditious way to problem solve this would be to not have the gate across the driveway and run your fence along the not next to the hedge in the picture that we're looking at, but to run it simply on the other side of the drive and have it dead end into, yes, thank you, Maurice, right there. If we take the fence and turn it into the garage where you see the white bouncing dot, and not have the fence on the other side and not have the gate across the garage, it would be probably less expensive for you and also less time consuming. And would also not mix fencing materials. So is that a possibility for you?
Yeah, you know, after when I meet with the lady, I would rather make the fence where they can see through it. And the reason why, you know, like the homeowner with the garage that they was attached, you know, I don't know what to say, but the biggest thing was a security thing. And like I say,
All right.
that's all. It was a security thing. And what happened, because if you knew, and even with the police reports, even while we was working, the house got broke into 3 or 4 times. So the biggest issue was people coming in that yard and coming in there. And then when you got a young lady that's buying a house with nieces coming there, and I mean, with her niece staying there most of the time with her, and then children in the yard, her friends playing, and then that was a really concern for her. So we was just trying to
Mr.
keep
Nelson,
it
we
beautiful.
understand the security issue. It's just you can't have the fence on that part by the garage. So you're just gonna have to remove that part. So you can work with us with Ms. Kukla with city planning, and you can either take our original 3 about the fence, you know, either lower it or make it, you know, 75% open, and or do, you know, a reconfigure that Ms. Faith just asked you to do. You can, you know, work with a couple of those, but we're not about to have an open studio on how to fix the fence here. So we gave you some suggestions. You can figure it out, you know, work with city planning. And
What's
then
your
I'll open it
name?
up to our board now to if they have any more questions or comments for you.
No more
Who?
questions, Madam Chair. I think we've given Mr. Nelson some options. We're going to connect him with city planning, coach him through this situation. The councilman's in the loop on this, so I think he'll have probably some input, perhaps some oversight on it as well, just make sure things move along. So with all that, we're of course going to want a new plan drawing for this fence that's going to go in. And I think probably a section drawing showing the actual fence that's going to be, or fences that are going to be used. So with that, conditions that I'm sure that the appellant will abide by, we'll go ahead and I'm going to motion that we approve this.
Thank you, Ms. Faith. Can I have a second?
Member Brown, I second.
Right, Ms. Brown with the second. Go ahead, call the roll, please, Ms. Kukla.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And again, this is with the understanding that the site plan is going to be updated to show 15 feet open going down the property line that's shared with the neighbor and 15 feet open going towards his house from that corner that's shared with the neighbor, or the option that Ms. Faith stated. And I will call the roll, Madam Chair. Ms. Barnes?
Yes.
Ms. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Faith?
Yes.
Ms. Britt?
Yes.
Calendar 21-202 is granted conditionally, pending that updated plan showing those changes that the board would like to see. And once we receive that, it'll be ratified and we will send the appellant a letter.
All right, thank you. Good luck, Mr. Nelson.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
Good. Thank you, Mr. Nelson.
thank you so much.
I think that concludes
Thank
our
you,
day, Madam
Councilman.
Chair.
It does. We are done.
Yes, we are done.
All right,
All
everybody
right.
have a good week.
Thank you.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Did you all see that we have a new director?
What?
Oh,
No,
yes.
I haven't seen that.
Oh my.
Oh, Maurice, what is her name? I'm terrible with
Joyce Wong.
Joyce Wong.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
My.
She's
Hey.
currently working at Midtown
She
Development
works at
Corporation.
Midtown Development Corporation now, but she'll be the new director. So
February 14th, we were told is her start date.
What's her last name?
Huang,
Joyce.
Huang.
All right. The first name is Joyce.
Yep.
And
Correct.
and she's at Midtown now. Okay. Cool.
Mhm.
All right.
all right, everyone.
Alrighty,
See
well.
you next week.
All right.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye. Try to stay warm.
Liz, real quick question for you. Is it just us yet?
No,
Wants us to do that, yeah.
Yeah.
it's just staff.
Okay.
Well, you're not recording anymore. It says we're live.
Well, hold on a minute. Hold on. Yes, hold on a minute. I haven't